I swear whenever I want to film I get really bad acid reflux. Hello everyone, today's video is going to be my 30-week update. Oh my god, I'm 30 weeks today, which means there is 10 weeks or less, or maybe slightly more, until my baby is here. Like, to think I'm 3/4 of the way through my pregnancy. What I've got left I've already done 3 times, so who knows. I don't do a lot of pregnancy updates on like development and stuff because I feel like if I was to do like a weekly one, like there's not enough stuff that happens to me in a week that would be worth making a weekly update. So I think from now I'll do like 2 weekly updates because I see the midwife more, I see, you know, all the things, and she's going to grow really rapidly from now up until the end. So I think every 1 or 2 weeks I will make one of these now, but just before nothing was really happening. It was just slow growth. I never really knew what was going on. So I've got up here some of the information about my baby at 30 weeks, and then I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that's been happening to me over my 2nd trimester and over the last couple of weeks, and then at the end I'll give you a bump shot, I guess. So at the moment my baby is about 15.7 inches long, which is also 39 centimetres long, and she weighs about 3 pounds, which is also the size of a large cabbage apparently. She definitely feels the size of a large cabbage, like oh my god, she feels heavy. Like if I flop to one side, not flop to one side, if I turn over in my sleep I kind of feel her flop to like the other side of my belly, and it's like ooh. And it definitely feels like a large cabbage is in there. For the next couple of weeks she'll be growing ½ pound per week. Like, to think that she's nearly 3 pounds already, and like I was only like 5 pounds when I was born, so in the next couple of weeks she'll be the size that I was. By 34 weeks she will be my birth weight, which is so strange. She's currently surrounded by 1.5 pints of amniotic fluid, which will only shrink as she gets bigger and grows inside of me. At the moment her eyesight is developing as well. She can respond to changes in light, but she only has 20/400 vision, and an adult's is 20/20, like a fully developed eyes is 20/20 vision. She's 20/400 at the moment. I don't know how to say this word. The lanugo, I hope I'm saying that right, the lanugo hair that used to cover her body will disappear as the brain cells and fat help regulate her body temperature now. So when babies are growing, when they're first developing, they're covered in this hair that kind of keeps them warm. So they're a little bit furry, even though their skin's like transparent. Like I really would hate to think what a weird little baby looks like. But that will disappear now, and she'll learn to regulate her own body temperature. Her bone marrow is now producing red blood cells, which means that if she was born now, she'd be more likely to survive on her own because her body is just naturally growing what it needs for a person to survive on their own. Also, if she was born right now, her digestive tract is fully developed, which means that, you know, she'll be ready to feed as soon as she comes out, and that's really cool. Like, I feel like if she was born early, she'd be ready to feed right away, and just, I don't know, it's always nice to hear, I guess. So I'm gonna tell you a bit about my 2nd trimester and the things that I've been experiencing. Obviously one of the main things that happen in your 2nd trimester is that you start to feel your baby move. I first felt a little popping sensation, like a kind of, you know, the little kicks, like the fluttering, at exactly 21 weeks. I was worried because there were people at like 18 weeks that were like, oh, I already feel my baby moving, they're just like little flutters or like strong kicks. I'm like, oh my god, but I haven't felt my baby. And then on 21 weeks, on the day I was in the bath, and I felt this little like, this different feeling in my stomach, like something I hadn't felt really before. And everyone was like, oh, you might think it's just like gas or something, but I was like, no, this is different. I've been waiting for this, and this is exactly what I needed to feel. And yeah, so I felt her kick for the first time. And then by 23 weeks, I could visibly see her kicking. Like, it grew so rapidly. Like, it went from like tiny flutters to full kicks in like 2 weeks. And like Ed felt her kick when I was like 23 weeks or like 24 weeks, that's somewhere between there. And I don't know, it was really cool. And now bits stick out of me, like sometimes there'll be a foot sticking out or like a bum or something. She'll like push out. She kicks my ribs, she kicks downwards, and that is really annoying in the night time. She doesn't really stop now, she's really active. and which is good, like I'm not complaining, I have an active baby. Something that also happened to me like within the second trimester is that my boobs started leaking. And I had no idea this happened. I spoke about this in my 5 things nobody told me about pregnancy video, and I didn't really know this happened. I thought it happened at the end. To me that was really weird, and that does happen every now and again. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it's worse than the others, but it's only this side. Like this side just doesn't really do anything. My choice for when I have given birth and stuff is that I won't be breastfeeding. I'll actually be bottle feeding, and it's just my personal choice. I'm not ready to breastfeed, I don't think, at this age. I definitely will with my second baby that I have in the future, but this one I'm just gonna bottle feed. I know some people don't agree with it, but that's your opinion, not mine. I'm totally fine with it. Something very common that's also been happening to me is bad heartburn / acid reflux, and oh my god, sometimes it's so painful. Like the other week it was so painful, I was crying and I was sweating, it just hurt so bad. But it happens to a lot of women, and like at the moment I've got slight, I can feel my acid moving, and on some days it's worse than others. It will be gone within the next 10 weeks and I'm okay with that. At 23 weeks I did contract a UTI, which is a urinary tract infection. I had really bad pains in my right side and lower back, and we were worried it was my kidneys or something playing up. So we called the hospital and they sent a paramedic, like they sent an ambulance round to my house for a UTI. And he monitored my heart and everything. Like I literally gave the paramedic a nip slip. It was traumatic. They gave me a hospital appointment at 12:30 in the morning. Like my mum had to come pick me up from Ed's house and then take me to the hospital at nearly 1 in the morning, and I was like, just to get antibiotics for a UTI. And I mean, they're not that dangerous, but if you leave them they can get dangerous, so it's good to get them as soon as possible. But it was just so annoying. Like it causes a lot of pain, or it can cause a lot of pain, it did with me, but there was no other symptoms really. So within the 5 days of antibiotics that cleared up pretty well. In terms of cravings, like I haven't really had any food cravings at all, because I know you can get like addicted to like the smell of bleach and stuff, so I was like, can you get like feeling cravings? Like can you have the urge to feel something? And mine is like, I have to sit in a hot bath every day for like over an hour. I itch to be in hot water. I have a shower in the morning and then I have a really long bath at night, just because I love the feeling of sitting in hot water. If anyone talks about hot water in the day, I'm like, oh my god, I need my bath. Like it's really weird, it's like an addiction. If I do start feeling ill in the bath, like some women say that it's bad because your blood pressure goes up or whatever, but if I do start feeling hot, like too hot or ill or anything, then I will just put some cold in or drink some water or get out if it's that bad. But yeah, that's really weird. I really enjoy my baths, and if you see my vlogs you know that a lot of the time I'm in the baths. I did have a midwife appointment yesterday to check the results of some blood tests that I had a couple of weeks ago, and the only thing that's really happened is my iron levels have dropped quite significantly. If it was any lower they said it would be dangerous. So my midwife doesn't want me on iron tablets, but she wants me to kind of get some iron up in my diet. So I don't know how well that's going to work. But yeah, that's the only kind of problem with it. They did give me an extra blood test because of how itchy I've been all over my body. Like I've torn my legs to shreds. There are scratches all over them, all on my belly and my chest and everything. It looks like Wolverine's been clawing at me. That's been one of the worst things. I think the most uncomfortable is just the itching. It keeps you up at night. It really does like take a bit of a toll on you. And so they wanted to test me for like the ICP thing, I think that's what it's called, purely because of how bad the itching is. But the only thing that came back in my blood test was that the iron levels were dropped. Another thing aside from the pregnancy that's been happening is that we are getting everything ready for her. Like I have a list over there somewhere in that messy pile behind me. I have a list of everything that we've needed to get for the hospital bag, for the baby's arrival, and just like for everything in general that we're going to need. And we pretty much have everything ticked off. We're just waiting until I get paid again to just buy the last few bits, like a baby bouncer and all that sort of stuff. Everything's pretty sorted. That's been really fun, like preparing for the baby. It's given me something to do while being pregnant, because I'm really bored at the moment. I'm just at that stage where I'm just bored and want her here. So I will be getting my hospital bag ready within the next couple of weeks. I've got to buy a new hospital bag first. So yeah, I'm going to get my new bag and get everything sorted, because anything can really happen now, I guess, because it's like 30 weeks onwards. Like, I have a feeling I'll be early, like, I don't think I'll make it to the end. And lastly, I just wanted to talk about my current plans for the birth. I really want to have a water birth, purely for my love of being in the water at the moment. It's like my most comfortable and the place I enjoy being the most at the moment. Whether I'm in the water first just to help the contractions and stuff, and just to, it really does help calm and relax you, and they put you in a room with like mood lighting and music and stuff, and to me that sounds much more relaxing than just being in the bed. And you still get gas and air while you're in the water as well, so it's not all bad. But at the moment that's what I really want, so I'm going to start discussing that with my midwife and that soon, so that'll be really cool. Obviously Ed will be with me at the birth, no one else will. I'm not going to tell anyone when I give birth. I'll tell my mum and Ed's. I feel like it's rather large, but hey, it would do, your baby's growing. It's fine, everyone likes to take the mick out my belly button, so please don't. So that is the end of my 30-week update. As I said, I definitely will start doing these a little more regularly as I get more towards my due date. My due date is the 29th of June, by the way, which is 3 days after my birthday, so we'll see what happens first. My 19th or baby's birth. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe, I'm nearly at 500 subscribers. So yeah, if you could help me get to 500, I would be so grateful. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video.